just upload the first part and then do the second part.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But like I said, this shit's acting like a motherfucker right now. Okay. Alright, part two's on. Sorry for that technical difficulty. You know, YouTube and this whole live streaming shit's on some bullshit. Um, we left off at Ashley when she's doing her number 4 pick. I mean number 7, excuse me.
Oh, you mean number 7?
Yeah, number 7.
Okay. Okay. My number 7 pick was Cash Money Records. Of course, I wasn't familiar with that record label until I heard Juvenile's song "Back That Ass Up." But back then, I was very young at the time when I first heard that song, and then it was like years went by to the point where it was like Cash Money was getting more and more popular when I guess Lil Wayne was signing artists such as Drake and Nicki Minaj. And don't get me wrong, some have some good stuff too, but other stuff I don't care too much for. At the end of the day, I mean, they're still one of the most popular record labels to date, and nothing more to say from there.
Yeah, definitely dope chick. My number 6 is actually gonna be Cold Chillin' Records. When it comes to like the golden age of hip hop, this should be like one of the first hip hop labels that comes to people's minds. Cold Chillin' was home to like the Juice Crew, which consists of members like Kool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, and so on and so on. A lot of classics came out from this era, like Kane with the Long Live the Kane album, Roxanne Shante with the Bitches Back, Kool G Rap and DJ Polo's first 3 albums, um, Biz Markie, especially with the Going Off album. Yeah, man, definitely very dope album label. It kind of fell apart in like the early '90s and shit like that. Due to like a lot of money issues and sample issues. But Cold Chillin' Records definitely is like one of the most iconic hip hop labels of all time, if you ask me.
Ooh, at number 6,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be hard, man. I got 6 big tough ones. Number 6, I think I'm gonna go with Aftermath. Mm, You know, Dr. Dre's a genius. Every artist he came out with was a star. Eminem and 50 and the Game, Kendrick, Anderson .Paak. Great label. Some of the artists didn't pan out, like Truth Hurts. She had like a big hit record with Rakim. Stackpole, that didn't pan out. Rakim, that didn't work. MT, would have loved to hear that album on here, but he Dre is one of the best, and anybody he signs, they become megastars. And Aftermath was that label to deal with. During the late '90s and early 2000s. Even now they still doing it. Kendrick's still doing this thing. Anderson .Paak is blown up. I want to see who they come out with next. That is really tough because I'm like looking at the last couple labels, and I don't know who to put. Like the last 5 is gonna be tough, but I think I'm gonna go with Aftermath number 6.
My number 6 pick was Doggy Style Records. Of course, it was founded by Snoop. Plus, after his album Doggy Style, no, he dropped numerous projects from there, as well as Welcome to the Church mixtapes, as well as I know some certain artists on there such as 213 and Dog Pound, as well as back in 2016 I know Corrupt dropped Equinox on that label as well. So
Okay. Label number 5, I'm gonna go with Ruthless Records. Yeah, definitely like another impactful West Coast label. A lot of people know this for NWAs, Straight Outta Compton, Niggas for Life, but people don't give credit where Ruthless Records had like a diverse. It was like one of the first hip hop labels that was taking its chance on like R&B and jazz and whatnot. When it comes to hip hop, they had like No One Can Do It Better by the DOC. It had Above the Laws. First 3 albums, Living Like Hustlers, Black Mafia Life, and Uncle Sam's Curse. Had of the very underrated Terry B album, Powerful Woman. Um, got Michel'le's first album. We got Jimmy Z. Of course, you got Bone Thugs and Harmony and stuff like that too. MC Ren Shock of the Hour, like, yeah, man, definitely a very dope label and shit like that. Yeah, man.
Number 5, I gotta definitely put this label in the top 5 live record. From no matter if it was West Coast or East Coast or down south, they had some of the best artists during the '90s, some classic albums, with 21 and over, Alcoholics, and At the Speed of Light, Exhibit, got MOP, Raekwon, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Big Pun, like they had some of the best artists all around on one label, and they definitely need a documentary or something for that label. For that, Steve Rifkin did a heck of a job more than every artist. I think they had 3 6 Mafia, right, as well.
You mean yeah, they did have Mafia.
Yeah, and like just any artist, like it didn't matter what region they came from. Like Live Records was just that label to be on, and they promoted them from. They promoted every artist, man. Like I used to see posters for 3 6 Mafia when they were dropping shit up here, and Exhibit, and for Alcoholics, they were big up here, and any artist it was, MOP, any artist it was, they were thoroughly promoted, gave out stickers and sampler tapes and all of that stuff, and just a great label, and that easily could have been number 1 for me, but definitely top out in my opinion. That's Live Records definitely has to be on this list.
yeah, my number 5 pick was Arista Records because I know just like just like Jive Records and Geffen Records, they have like a plethora of artists from all different genres, besides R&B and so forth. A lot of them that are familiar to not only myself, but I'm pretty sure to anyone else who's familiar with certain artists from like Babyface to A Flock of Seagulls to Avril Lavigne, Kenny Lattimore, Coffee Brown, and numerous others. Even though Arista Records sometimes, I guess, kind of is known for kind of I guess screwing people over when it comes to their stuff. Other than that, other than that.
Okay. Um, album number we had number 4, right? All right.
Yeah, for
Label number 4, I'm gonna go with Death Row Records. Yeah, I mean, what else is it not to say about Death Row? I just feel like it was just like one of those labels that just brought out like gangster rap, G funk, just bulldozes attention to listener shit like that. Had albums like The Chronic, Doggy Style, Dog Food, All Eyes on Me, and the soundtracks like Above the Rim, Murder Was the Case, um, fucking Ganglayer's soundtrack. I just wish that it would definitely have. There were like a lot of hella unreleased albums when it comes to Death Row Records and artists that should have dropped an album, but y'all know what happened with that. And definitely, gotta give props with Death Row Records and shit like that. I just feel like a lot of hip hop labels that came out after Death Row, they definitely tried to duplicate what they brought to the table and shit like that. So that's my number 4, Death Row.
Number 4, I have Rockefeller Records. Definitely a great label. Could have been a lot better if they released more of the artists that was supposed to drop. But Jay Z carried that label, and then like by 2002 or 3, Dipset came in and they had their own movement, and they were doing their thing. State Property had they moment, they little time when they were shining with their artists, and I still wanted to see a Peter Crack album. Never happened, but you got Beans, you got Freeway, you got 2 Young Gunners albums out of that. You know, um, Bleak, he did his thing. He felt like he was overlooked. They dropped a soundtrack for Paid in Full, the Dream Team album. But they definitely was one of the things that in the 2000s, and especially on Def Jam, and they definitely one of the best.
My number 4 pick was Bad Boy Records, of course. It's not only the label that Biggie was on. Of course, other artists such as Mace and Lil Kim and 112 and other artists were on, and into during the mid to late 90s. Of course, they were involved in the biggest feud with Death Row Records during that East Coast West Coast beef and what have you. There was like headlines all over the place when it came to that. But I know a lot of people really think of them as like not only the label that had all the shiny suits and stuff like that, but it's one of those labels that you can't forget and really established some of the careers of some of the biggest artists we know, even though they even established careers for artists that were, I guess, were some.
Got you. Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned Bad Boy Records, because my number 3 is actually Uptown Records. Uptown Records definitely was the label Andre Harrell started. In my opinion, the best label combining hip hop and R&B, if you ask me, when it comes to like that in the past 30 years and whatnot. A lot of iconic figures came out like Heavy D and the Boys, Mary J. Blige, Al B. Sure. Biggie's first experience was on here. The Lost Boys, Guy, Christopher Williams and whatnot. And it's kind of crazy too because a lot of people, were kind of taken aback when Puffy and Harrell had like their disagreements and shit like that. And so once he left Uptown Records and shit like that, they still had their successes, with Nothing But Love, Heavy D and the Boys' final album, Nothing But Love, and Soul For Real's Candy Rain album, and so on and so on. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite hip hop R&B labels and shit, Uptown Records.
Number 3, I got the Untouchable. Death Row definitely was running shit. during the 90s, and I was a huge Death Row fan for almost every release that they dropped, and even when they were, to have that whole Cold School feud with Bad Boy, and to have two close feuding, and two greats end up dying over that, and they were a great label for that time, and the whole G Funk thing was a big thing. And we got East Coast artists do G Funk stuff, and every release they were dropping, man. Doggy Style, with Chronic, Soul Food, the Above the Rim soundtrack, everything was just like platinum, and they were everywhere. And I wish, like Lil Red said, I wish they would like have released more of the artists. Nate Dogg and Uncle Charlie Wilson was on that label as well, and Bow Wow was on that label before he went to Social Dev.
Mm-hmm.
MC Hammer, huh?
I said I agree with you. I said, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Danny Boy, you never got a chance to release anything. Jewel, so they released a lot of dope stuff, and there was a lot of controversy while they were doing it, and just it was just great times for music as a music head, and that's. I don't think there'll ever be another Death Row. I think that was truly the golden era. Yeah.
Yeah. My number three pick was Columbia Records, because I mean, when you think of Columbia Records, it's like one of the, I guess, longest running record labels on the planet. Been been active like a little over 100 years now, which is impressive. And it's another one of those labels that is like very that's very versatile. It has all different artists ranging from rock to country to hip hop and R&B and pop, which is one of the things I liked about it. It just didn't confine to like that one particular genre at all. It's open to any genre, open to any artist who has the artistry and the creativity to bring it out to the world, and that's one of the reasons why I love one of them, one this particular record label here.
Okay, okay. Alright, the final two. Shit. Um, my number two is gonna be Def Jam Records. Man, Def Jam just went through the dust and the wind and is still surviving strong. Like, just, certain eras of Def Jam, like the early era, you know, we had LL Cool J and Beastie Boys, the Rick Rubin era and shit like that. And then like all of a sudden, like by the time you got to like the early '90s and stuff, you had, cats like I want to say Nice and Smooth was on Def Jam and shit. Then you got EPMD. Um, by the time you got to like the mid '90s, they started experimenting with like West Coast artists. Oh, how can I not forget Redman, Onyx and shit. Warren G and J.O. Felony, they held it down for the West Coast on Def Jam and shit. But to me, like the Def Jam at its peak was when, they started having like, the Rockefellers and the Murder Incs. They had people like the Rough Riders and shit like that. They started branching out their efforts more and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because whether people want to believe it or not, I want to say like Jay, Ja Rule, and DMX pretty much saved Def Jam Records, if you ask me. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite labels of all time, Def Jam Records. Yeah.
Number two, I got Bad Boy. Definitely, it that them and Death Row. I didn't know which one was gonna be, being two, but Bad Boy definitely. I mean, even with Biggie passing, they still had a talented roster. You had Mace, even though everything after Harlem go flop, but you had Mace, he was still a big name at the time. You had Total, Cole Thomas, Faith Evans, Shine, like Rob, G Dep. Loon, they still had a roster, and I feel like once Puffy started doing the reality shows and making the band and all that, that's when it was over for him and coming out with all these albums and right, they even with Biggie Don, Biggie team was like their point guard for that team, and once the point guard left, it was like they still they still was afloat, but they were you could see that it wasn't the same without Biggie, but they had their run, they had great albums and remixes, and they were going toe to toe with Death Row,
Right.
and Craig Mack, that's a piece of him. They had the Locks at one point, and they had they run. I think Puffy messed that whole thing up. We already know the story, but
Hmm.
they had a good run in the '90s. I was definitely repping both Bad Boy and Death Row. So like that whole East Coast West Coast thing wasn't a thing for me. Yeah, I just looked at it like it was music and it was competition, and the competition brought the best music out of both labels, and that's what it was. So I was repping both of them. So I was a huge Bad Boy fan. I don't have every Bad Boy release, but I have a couple. I bought some bad Bad Boy releases that had to go out. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the early Bad Boy years, it was great. It was great. They were R&B and hip hop. They were running it. So if you wasn't on Bad Boy, you just wasn't hot. You know what I'm saying? It was like if you was an artist, you got to get Biggie on your joint or Mace, or you got to get a beat from Puffy and the Hitman, and they were doing their thing.
Right.
DJ and D Doc and Ron Amen Lawrence and Nasheem Merrick and the whole Hitman. They were just doing their thing, and they were a great label. So that's my number two.
My number two was LaFace Records. Of course, it's not only a label that was founded by L.A. Reid and Babyface, of course, but they brought on a whole plethora of artists to the table. A lot of artists that we know today and love their music, such as TLC and Tony Braxton, Donnell Jones, just to name a few. And I grew up listening to pretty much TLC and Tony Braxton music, and that was what was playing around me as a kid, and I still love their stuff to this day.
Got you. Got you. Alright. My number one favorite label, Loud Records. I'm gonna go with Loud Records. Loud Records definitely just had a lot of my favorite hip hop albums came out from this era. I'm just gonna say that, and it definitely just had like a good lineup of artists, like from the East, West, Southern hip hop. Like you had cats like MLP, you had cats like Wu Tang, 3 6 Mafia, Big Pun, rest in peace, Dead Prez. When it comes to the albums and shit, Hell on Earth, the infamous 36 Chambers, Let's Get Free, Capital Punishment, um, Davina's first album that came out in '98, Cellar Drill, like just that's dope when it comes to like a lot of that street shit. Definitely love Loud Records and stuff like that.
Oh, and number one, drum roll, Def Jam Records. Love it. Love my favorite record label of all time. I can't tell you like how many releases I bought on like cassette and CD over the past like 20 something years for this label. And, with artists like Beastie Boys and Public Enemy and Third Bass, Nicky D, you know, Redman, EPMD, Boss, J.O. Felony, Onyx, Montel Jordan, Kelly Price. Like we talked about Kelly Price a couple of days ago. She was on Death Soul, and we had Drew Hill on there, and that whole Death Soul division, and then when we got like had Method Man on there, and Crew, Foxy and LL. You get to the 2000s, and you got you got both Rockefeller and Murder Inc. And you got DMX and his label Bloodline Records, and they were just killing it. Joe Budden was a part of that early on, and Keith Murray came over. Then when Jay took over, he signed Ross and Rihanna and Jeezy, you know, and they just was doing it, man. Like even now, like it's not the same lineup, but they still got heavy hitters. Justin Bieber's on here. You got Janae Aiko. You still got Fabulous on here. You know what I mean? Like they still doing it over there, and that to me has always been the best label. And you know Russell Simmons, like he was so popular that he ended up getting Def Comedy Jam on HBO, then Def Poetry Jam later on, and so many great things that him and Rick Rubin did, starting that label and giving art. They made a lot of artists money, and I think the whole hip hop community owes them a lot. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have like a lot of these artists that we grew up listening to, man. Even now, and just a great label, man. Just they went all out for every artist. Like no matter if he was a big name artist like LL or artists like Nice and Smooth or Warren G saved them. It's still one of my favorite albums of '94, and you know that's the great label, man. They definitely need a whole like 2 hour biopic on Def Jam alone, man. And that has to be the number one label.
My number one pick was Motown Records simply because it's not only one of the most well-known record labels out there to date, but it also brought on a whole lot of R&B acts, solo as well as group artists that we've come to know and love their music. Those who are still alive today, others who have passed on, such as artists such as Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, a lot of the original members from the Temptations, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. I can go on and on and on with this, and, and I really couldn't imagine how I guess America's generations would have grown up to be without the mellow sounds of Motor City.
Mm, okay, definitely a very dope list and shit like that. Yeah, like despite all that, I definitely feel like it's like a diverse list when it comes to hip hop and R&B labels.
I want I want to say like I left like a couple of labels off. I left off Baby Grand Records. That was a dope label, and they had like artists like Diamond D and Jizza, Sadat X, and Apathy was on there, Agallah. I left off Master Pill Records. They had Dave East, of course, and Nas label, and Boldy James was a part of that label, and Sean. I left off Fools Go Records with the Cool Kids and Run the Jewels, Danny Brown, Party Supplies, and Kid Cudi was on that label as well. And what's the other label? Uncle Howie Records. Bill, his label that he started and named after his Uncle Howard that passed away. And he had his soul fit, nonfiction and Stu Daniels, Gore-Tex, Medical was a part of them. Those are labels that I had on the list, and I got rid of them later on. And
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely throw in like Tommy Boy Records as an honorable mention too, and shit like that. Just from the strength of like the Force MDs, Cool
right.
Latifah, Naughty by Nature, Capone and Noriega. So yeah, they De La Soul too. Yeah, definitely like fuck Tommy Boy, but definitely an honorable mention.
One label I definitely failed to mention was Def Jam Recordings, because I mean they had a whole plethora of artists that were big from like from the 80s, 90s on up too. So yeah.
Got you. All right. So with that being said, like that was a dope list. Yeah, I wish like the video would have stayed all in one. I hate that I had to split it up in two, but fuck it, no big deal. So yeah, let's see what the chat got to say. Eric Johnson says Shine self-titled and the Godfather Buried Alive album was fire. I to be honest, I never heard that Shine album. I never heard that Shine
That's
album.
good. That was good. That's like one of the last good Bad Boy releases.
I know one of the songs has that Grace Jones sample, that nightclubbing sample. I know one of those songs has that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll probably check that shit out pretty much.
I think it's out of print. I believe it's out of print.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it's out of print. I know all the shit's out of print.
Like all those Bad Boy joints are out of print.
Crazy. Yeah, the only shit that's in print is Biggie shit, Puffy shit.
Because Puffy gonna make money off of him.
Right.
You know.
Harlem World should still be in print, right?
The Maze joint?
Yeah.
I can check. I can check to see.
Oh yeah. The actual group, the group ain't, but the album is. I think the album is available. It should be available.
Yeah, they still got Harlem World and yeah.
Okay. Just curious about that.
Yeah, they got a lot of used copies of that.
Yeah, man. I know. Eventually, I gotta be talking about that album one day and shit like that. Eric said, I'm trying to get the first 7 Def Jam Maroon records. I think I got two of me in my collection. I need the Beastie Boys ones though. Yeah, those Maroon records are hard to come by. Definitely.
Who?
The Def Jam Maroon records, I think like the OG copies, I think that's what he's mentioning.
Maroon?
Yeah.
Oh, the colored sleeve.
Yeah,
Oh,
shoot.
oh yeah, those are hard to come up.
Very hard. I seen like one of them, I think one of them was from Beastie Boys was like up to $300 and shit, so
Oh wow.
yeah, good luck on that. Q said, me too, that would be dope. Can you imagine a Death Row and Bad Boy album with the Tupac, Biggie, Diddy, Snoop, Dre, and everybody else that would certain shit does not need to come together, in my opinion.
I think that's what got Pac killed, because Pac was already did the One Nation album. He was trying to bring both coasts together, and maybe Suge Knight didn't want that. Maybe he wanted to keep feuding with Bad Boy. I don't know.
Yeah, like.
But that would have been stupid to keep that feud going. I mean, if you wanted like to end, why wouldn't they expecting to want to like put it into?
When the beef was going on, these record labels were making money off of off of the feud alone. Like the magazine publications were fueling it, and like even the diss songs made a certain art, like they were making money. So that's why I believe like they probably didn't want it to end. Like record labels were like, oh, we can't have one man stop this show. Let's get rid of Pac so that we can still make the money. You know?
Right.
No, that still would have been stupid on their part for that too.
Yeah, like I said, I noticed how like a lot of veterans in the hip hop game, like whether it's like a rapper or producer, it's like they're finally doing albums together after so many years and shit like that, and it's just like, wow.
Right. Because we didn't do that when that stuff was going on, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Shit.
It's like unless he was a part of a super group, it was like that wasn't going on, and it's a shame.
Yeah, cause I was actually watching the Cujo from Goody Mob. He did an interview with Vlad a couple of weeks ago and shit. And he was talking about, how Pac wanted Goody Mob, for the whole One Nation album and shit like that. Cause he just wanted like a mixture of like East Coast, West Coast, and Southern hip hop artists. Cause I know he wanted Big Daddy Kane on that shit, Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, he just wanted like a different variety of artists on that One Nation album and shit. But yeah, man, that shit never came to fruition.
You done drinks with Big Daddy Kane, so it makes sense.
Facts. Yeah, that one song he did with Kane and Hammer was pretty straight though. That Too Late Play or whatever that shit is.
But I couldn't sing that song at all, but that was bad.
Shit. And I think around that time Pac was getting into production too. Around that time I think he produced that joint. So
he produced the joint?
He produced either that one or another joint. Cause I know he was getting into production around like the All Eyes on Me era and shit. What else? Okay, Alonzo said, did you put Duck Down Records on here? Let me try.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tried
Duck Down was number 6. Yeah. I had to put them because they still doing it. They still dropping quality releases. So.
Yeah, that's true though. Like Duck Down's still dropping that heat. That's another label I really wanted to mention too and shit. But it was just so many to pick.
I know. Yeah, like I didn't make the Cash Money and Hypnotize Minds and No Limit, but it was like a lot of I wasn't a fan of those labels until like I just started listening to stuff from them like recently. So I never was big on Cash Money until Weezy, did the Carter thing. That was like in 05. And then with No Limit, like I never was a No Limit fan. Like I've said that many times, and I just started getting into C Murder shit. So it's gonna if I ever get into like Master P or everybody else, it's gonna take a minute because I just started getting into C Murder stuff. So Hypnotize Minds, I've always been a fan of P6 Mafia. I always loved their production, the deep bass lines and stuff. So I was always a fan of this. It's just that we wasn't big on their stuff until like Sipping on Scissor came out. So we was like behind the 8 ball by the time they came out with that up here.
Got you. Alright, I'm gonna stay on for a couple minutes and shit. Eric said Wu-Tang, Rough Riders, No Limit, Cold Chillin', Casablanca. It's really hard to pick. Yeah, Eric. Speaking of Casablanca Records, I know tomorrow we're reviewing Parliament's Mothership Connection tomorrow too. So yeah, that's gonna be a very dope review. Yeah, Casablanca definitely got some heat too. Like especially when it comes to like a lot of R&B and disco acts that came out of that label and shit. Johnson also said, I just got Shannon's Do You Want to Get Away CD, the Japanese version, and Denise Williams, This Is Niecy. I got it for like $5 on eBay. Yeah, I got that This Is Niecy joint too. That's a very dope album.
I went on that Niecy album.
You said what?
I said I have that on vinyl, the Niecy album.
Yeah, same.
That was good.
Yes, sir. That Charles Stephanie production and Morris Wright, man. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else is going on in hip hop? You said Aguilar dropped a diss track to Griselda and shit.
Yeah, Aguilar got a diss track to Griselda. That came out today.
I still
I seen like some people post about it, and I don't even know what the beef is with him. I think he had reached out to Westside and like last year or something, and Westside didn't want to collaborate with him. Something like that. I don't even know what the beef is about with him and Griselda. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it look like he's hating on him.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Aguilar be doing live streams on YouTube like 2, 3 in the morning. Nobody be showing up. I was like the only one in there.
Jeez. Shit. Sometimes it be that hard sometimes and shit, cause motherfucker be asleep and shit like that, or there's just that one person on your live stream.
I mean, it's not like it can't be done. Cause Killer Priest, his live streams be starting like at like 1, 2 in the morning, but he be having people in there. when I go on Idol shit, nobody be in it.
Mm.
You
That's
know,
that's
and it's like he just like playing beats, and I'm like, well, shit, you could have made a video for that. You ain't gotta do live stream.
exactly.
So I don't even know. I know I sent you the interview that like Lilo said he had fucked him up or whatever.
You said what?
The interview I sent you with Lilo, he said that how he fucked up Aguilar like one of his people and shit.
Yeah.
He was just talking crazy. He was like, y'all, you bloody his mouth and all this other stupidness, and the thing is like, I get it, like Lilo, yeah, he didn't like what Aguilar was saying about Griselda, but Lilo ain't on Griselda. He's affiliated with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like jumping it, like let the West Side of Conway handle Aguilar. Like why you jumping in shit? Ain't got nothing to do with you. You know?
I see what you're saying and shit.
I mean that's his people's. I get it, but it's like he ain't coming at Lilo. He coming at Griselda when Lilo didn't sign with Griselda. And Lilo, this the whole thing. Like I don't understand. Like they do asking him in the interview, "Are you affiliated with Infamous Mob?" Because on his IG handle is Infamous Flea. He's cool with Infamous Mob, but he's not affiliated with them. But why does your IG handle say Infamous Flea? That's confusing people thinking that you done with Infamous Mob.
Cause niggas just want that
You know?
fucking clout. That's the fucking issue. They just
Right.
want that fucking
That's
clout.
that Prodigy discovered him or some shit like that.
I'm not too sure.
But I'm like, you're confusing people because the regular head that don't know who he is, they're gonna think, oh, Infamous Flea, he must be down with Infamous Mob, and he's not down with him.
And that's how niggas be getting in trouble with that bullshit.
Yeah, I just think it was stupid. I'm like, come on, man. Just stick to making good music.
Shit. Yeah, man. That niggas just always caught up in that whole fucking bullshit clout, and then they always acting like, oh, why you hurt me? Why you hurt me? After they went through all that bullshit. What else? What else is going on? So yeah, this whole Public Enemy shit still got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Yo, Ash.
Yeah, like what is Chuck D trying to accomplish by doing that? Like now you're saying it was a hoax or some shit, or Flav said it was a hoax?
Yeah, because it was like an April Fool's prank to see how hip hop is overhyped in the media and shit like that.
Well, what is the point of that? Like they're doing shit that these kids would do. Like Chuck D is cut from a different cloth. Like no old school people will do shit like that. So like, what was the whole point of doing that? You know what I'm saying? I believe, like I was telling people that Chuck D was trying to save face because he got blasted on social media for kicking Flav Flav out the group in the first place, and a lot of people didn't like it. And then on top of that, you make a letter of, oh, thank you for your services. We no longer need you. If that's your ride or die, like Ashley is your ride or die, and you got problems with Ashley, you settle that behind closed doors. You don't put her on blast on social media so that everybody else, all these buffoons out here, give their 2 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you do it. That's your ride or die. That's your man, your day one. That's how you handle shit. You don't put them on blast so everybody can give their own opinion on shit because they don't even know what the hell is going on. This whole posting it on social media and then you trying to downplay like, oh, it was nothing, it was all a joke. Niggas is not stupid, yo. Like when you wrong, you gotta get called out. He was wrong for that. And I think, like I said before, like, you know, Sister Soldier left, Professor Griff left, but the difference is Professor Griff, when he left, he's not afraid of Chuck D. He challenged him, and Flav didn't do that shit. And maybe people should start looking at Chuck D like, yo, maybe you the problem too. Maybe it's not just about Flav. There's two sides to the story. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck D is not no angel. Maybe he got some shit that he needs to look in the mirror and be like, yo, like, damn, maybe I need to change something about myself because all these people are leaving my group.
what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I just don't agree with it. But like without Flav, there is no public enemy, just Chuck D. Soulful, and he already did that, and we seen how that turned out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't agree with what he did, and now you trying to save face by saying, oh, it was a stunt, it was an April Fool's joke. Like, come on, if you fucked up, come on and say that you fucked up, and that you should have handled shit differently and settled it behind closed doors and not on social media. If there was no social media, we would never hear about this stuff.
Right. Like, and it's kind of crazy too because it's like people. I don't know. I see some people giving bash to them. I see some people saying that oh, it was a good prank, but all I'm just saying is niggas will get too old to do April Fool's Day pranks. That's all I'm saying. Like you can't be.
If I had a problem with if Rex and Ashley is the day one on me, and I got an issue with them, I'm gonna go to them myself. I'm not gonna put it on social media or put them on blast on a podcast and shit like it's been done in the past. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do shit. I'm done because everybody wants to know shit. If I got a problem with somebody that I'm cool with, I'm gonna go to them myself. Well, and settle it behind closed doors. Social media don't need to know about that. That's not their business because everybody will put their 2 cents in it that don't know what the fuck they talking about anyway. That's just how I do shit.
Exactly, because I feel like social media will like to twist people's words, just twist people's emotions and shit
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah, and that happens 90% of the time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Reg, no. Anytime, I ain't never had no problem with Reg ever. You know what I'm saying? Me and Reg talk all the time, and it would be the same with Ashley. Never had no problem with her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if Flavor Flav was Chuck D's man, that's your ride or die, and you've had this man's back for 30 something years through all the bullshit, dropped cocaine, joined TV raps, did all the reality shows and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's your ride or die. Then you handle that a different way and not on social media for everybody to give their 2 cents in on what's going on. And then you try to you write a stupid thank you for your services letter, and then you try to play it off like it was all a stunt. I just think that he's stupid for that, and it needs to be called out. I don't care who it is, Chuck D, whoever. You fucked up, and he needs to live up to that. If he's a man of his word, come out and tell people that you fucked up instead of trying to make an excuse about it. Because he looks stupid now. It's like if that's some shit that Migos would do, not Public Enemy. They cut from a different cloth. They're from the old school. Old school people don't do shit like that.
Right.
You know?
It's stupid though. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Very stupid.
Yep.
Shit. Yeah. Oh, then Snoop Dogg and Ari Lennox got a little beef and shit.
What he say?
Pretty much, Ari Lennox had like a live streaming where I think she was trying on some wigs, and Snoop said some shit like, "Stop wearing the wigs and promote your natural hair" or some bullshit. And then Ari Lennox found that picture when Snoop had that white face and he had like that blonde wig and shit like that. And then she was like, "I thought we had an understanding," and she posted it on Instagram or some shit like that.
Because Snoop wife wears her weird hair all the time, right?
Yeah. Shit.
Instead of you making a good, when the last album we could talk about Snoop that was like, yo, this is a dope ass album. It's been years since I heard a dope ass Snoop album. Like, instead of you making a dope ass album, you worrying about Ari Lennox and her hair.
Shit. Uncle Snoop Dogg and shit. You know Snoop don't hold shit back.
They need to lay off that weed, man. Lay off that shit.
Oh my fucking god. Cause when I saw the headline like Snoop and Ari Lennox got into social media, I was like, what?
You sound right.
Yeah. No,
you defend Marcus till the very end, yo.
Right.
That fucking snitch. And she took it like a G2.
Martha Stewart. I don't care what no one says. I feel like Martha and Snoop kind of dabbling in one another. I don't care what no one says.
I believe it. They looking too flirtatious on that show. I believe it.
Oh shit,
Snoop ain't no saint. We know he cheated on his wife.
shit. Like half these rappers cheat on their wives, man.
Yeah. He ain't no saint at all. He ain't
Yeah.
no fucking husband.
Shit.
No.
Alright, Q says, what do you think of DJ Scandalous? He is a Tupac remix channel, and only to cover Tupac, he has another channel called Scandalous, so he covers all hip hop news. I never actually heard of him. To be honest, all these like no shade, all these Tupac channels, man, it's just like it's all the same shit. If you ask me, it's like every story. I'm not trying to knock their love for Pac, but at the same time, like I've been seeing like these Tupac YouTubers beefing because of the fact that, oh, you stole my style, you stole my style. Like, nigga, y'all telling stories about Pac and shit like that. Of course, y'all gonna have similar styles and shit. Like, I don't know, but I'll check him out for you, Q. I'll definitely check it out. But I just feel like I have nothing against Pac. I just feel like all these Tupac YouTubers. I just feel
What
like
happened? What happened? What haven't we heard? You know?
right.
Right.
It's like what new will you bring to your channel is gonna be like, oh well, I didn't know that about Pac. Like we done heard every unreleased song, every conspiracy theory of why he's alive. Like I don't think there's nothing new about Pac right now.
And then too, there's been documentaries made
Right.
about him and
That,
movies. I mean, what don't we already know about the man?
what don't we know?
Mm.
Right.
If you tell me Pac was into like painting his nails pink, then I'll be like, oh well, I didn't know that. But I mean, what don't we know of Pac at this point?
Right. Because it's all pretty said, been said.
Exactly. And that's why I looked at that whole little beef and shit like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, y'all niggas really beefing about who was over here giving the best news about Tupac? I mean, come on, like. And a lot of times these motherfuckers be
Yes.
insinuating shit. A lot of times these motherfuckers be insinuating shit.
Yeah.
Um, Alonzo said, I know this isn't music related, but are you a fan of the Nets, even though you're mainly a Knicks fan?
The Nets are doing their thing. Their team is straight. They got their two stars waiting to come back from injury. They already on pace to win. The Knicks need to get it together. Yes, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I've always been a Knicks fan, but you know, we got our team got issues, and it start with the upper management and the owner, and they got to get that straight. The Nets already did. They just need to get Kevin Durant healthy and Kyrie, and I think that's going to be the next team to beat next year. It's going to be Milwaukee and Brooklyn. It's going to come down to those two teams. Everybody stay healthy.
Shit, if the NBA comes back.
Huh? Yeah, if the NBA, that's another thing. But whenever
You
this is,
said if they come back.
right.
Shit,
Yeah.
for real. I'm gonna stay on for a couple minutes and shit. Let's see what. Shit, okay, ain't no comments coming right yet, but yeah. What was I gonna talk about? Um, hmm. You still want to talk about intro this month?
I mean, I would like to, I mean, that's an underrated gem, and the album anniversary is this month.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
definitely. Um, yeah, definitely. We should talk about intro and shit like that. Cause I also wanted to talk about Escape this month too. There's some Escape this month.
oh yeah, you said you want to do this discography or something earlier, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna review all the albums because I got all the albums just recently. So I'm like 3 albums. I can just run. You can just run through that shit. Yeah. So cause I like I said, I had to catch up on like a lot of shit. Cause like now since I finished like what I had to finish up this morning, I can just focus on this damn thesis and getting this channel back on track. Finding finding some issues, finding something wrong with the whole live streaming shit. Yeah, man, just trying to put myself more out there and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. But other than that, I'm actually about to call it a night. I'm gonna let this webcam charge up for a little bit.
Alright.
Yeah, but this was definitely a very dope,
Alright.
dope video we did, y'all. Top 20 record labels, Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Hope you guys follow me on Instagram at MCRegMusic, follow on Twitter at RealReg1, and like and subscribe to this channel.